Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we've got a map I'm reviewing for a number of reasons. First of all, it's new on the workshop. Secondly, it's intriguing. The screenshot and thumbnail say this might be a map with something special about it. When you add into that, there were no comments on it at the time that I took on the map, and that only had about 3 or 4 subscribers. Honestly, it had to be worth a glance. Doing a little bit of a deeper dive, I found out that...
It's my first map.
That's right. So, all of the intrigues have come together. Is this really a really good map? Or is it another dud? There's only one way to find out. Let's have a little look. That's right, checking out maps is a really good way of checking out maps. Thank you very much for all of your support. Today's map is Las Terrazas by eminegzap. Eminegzap? Eminegzap. Never mind. Let's have a little look at the start square. That looks very workable to me. Water in a couple of locations, highway running through it. And what about the terrain heights? Flat in the 25 tiles with plenty of interesting water shapes and lots of ditty islands as well. All feeling good so far. Resources are over one side of the map. We have the oil and of course lots of trees and the fertile splash too. And if you have Sunset Harbour and want to do fishing, it's mostly shellfish. Nothing too much to write home about there. Off to the workshop, what do we need? Well, the answer is, strictly speaking, nothing. We do have a short little read up there if you want to have a short little read up. But using the loading screen mod, found out that we are missing the generic tree set, the leafy tree set, the Canary Islands palm, tall palm, the poplar, the quercus, Ilic, big, and various other bits and pieces as well. Oh, we are using Owl's Los Angeles theme, which automatically loaded, but of course without subscribing to it, that would be vanilla as well, and of course a realistic 1.2 LUT. So, yeah, a few things missing, a very newbie error to make, and also we have some trees encroaching onto the road here and there, and there and here all the way along this single highway, the one highway that runs all the way across the map. You will see it repeatedly. Nice intersection, nicely plopped intersection, very clean and crisp. A good choice, I feel. We got obviously more trees there, and I think we've seen worse. We do have there. Oh, is that network extensions too? I'm not entirely sure whether that was network extensions too. A bit of a steep ramp there, by the way, and that's having to jump to get up onto the ramp. That isn't the cleverest. But that 2-lane, is this encroaching there? That looks like network extensions 2 markings to me. I could be wrong, could be mass transit, but I'm pretty sure you also need network extensions 2 for this map. So anyway, sorry, I can't confirm. I've already recorded all the footage and I'm not going back and checking now, but I've just noticed that one. Okay, intersection here. Again, very nice, clean, crisp intersections with the prop and tree anarchy issue going on there. And it's no different from every other map that I've reviewed. So it's definitely not a setting at my end. I've not changed anything. It's all as is. But yes, new map maker. So obviously, as always, be kind in the comments, because this is the only way people are going to improve. We're just going to point out where things could be a little bit better, and hopefully they'll be able to next map make things a little bit better. Got another encroaching tree there, and I do like the way that cloverleaf is rotated so that we have the traffic running through at ground level, unlike the next intersection where the traffic goes up and over on a bridge. I feel that the traffic should stay at ground level. That bridge should link both sides of the highway rather than going there. So it's just a little thing there. Nice little bridge here, a big old bridge. Do like a big old bridge. With shipping underneath it, that's perfectly good height for a bridge there. I think the bridge has been done quite well. We do, however, have a hint of blue mantle at this end on both sides there. Clunky, clunky. Now, if you're looking out for trees on the road, that's one thing, but look out for traffic on the road on the right-hand lane. I think you'll find you won't have seen any yet. There's reason for that, which we'll get to a little bit later. Again, we got the traffic going up and over a bridge, encroaching trees there, up and over, which I prefer that to be at ground level and the bridge to be crossing the highway. And we're in the start square, which means we have an asset of the day, and this one is it's always like a church. Always like a church. It's the Gethsemane Episcopal Church by Hammer 85. It's clean, it's crisp, and it's good work from one of those new creators that we're seeing on the workshop. And factoids, because factoids. On today's date, the 23rd of July in 1888, Raymond Chandler, the detective writer who created the legendary Philip Marlowe, was born. While Chandler was hard at work on his typewriter, because they didn't have word processors back in it would have been the 1880 area, would have been the early 1900s, I imagine he was doing his writings. While he was hard at work doing his writings on his typewriter, his wife Sissy used to do the housework. Good old Sissy. Oh, sorry. In the nude. Ah, great way to try and distract your husband from his work. The Gethsemane Episcopal Church by Hammer 85. Today's asset of the day. Okay, we have another intersection here. Like to actually look at the highway. It bends and follows around. That is a clean look. Oh, more trees. So many trees. Clean. And I kind of like the shape of this intersection. I've seen. Oh, look at the way the roads have to bend to connect, though. Yeah, sometimes intersections don't line up with your highway, so you have to do a little bit of tweaking. Again, the roads are doing an up and over on the cloverleaf, which again is not a huge problem. I just prefer it the other way around. I feel that the main traffic would stick down at ground level, and then the smaller amount of traffic would do an up and over. A little up and over on a nice intersection there. I love the flowing of the intersection there. And again, this one, it's all elevated at ground level, but it's clean and it's crisp and it's tidy, and a slight encroachment of a tree there as well, and there also. And again, the intersection doesn't quite line up with the highway, so we've got a little bit of jinky jankies going on to match them up. Now you're going to see a whole host of trees on the road, which is fine, absolutely fine. We don't mind that at all, do we? And we have some elevated rail at ground level alongside, which dead ends there. So we'll have a look at the rail and the road simultaneously, shall we? Because why not? These are reasons to do things. Anyways, so yeah, as always, I have to keep saying this: be kind in the comments, try and find positive things to say about the map, because it's obviously a map that does have some flaws, but it's my first map, a first creation, and there's actually plenty of good stuff to look for on this map if you actually open your eyes and look beyond it. Like I say, the very first impression that I got was pretty strong indeed. And yes, okay, some clunky errors, and to be expected. Anyway, the roads carry up. The rail seems to have disappeared. We'll go back and check out for the rail in a moment, see what happened there. Anyway, the roads go off to the edge of the map here, and you'll notice the very last part of the map here, it's it's a reverse. Both the roads are coming in, and that one goes about as far as there, and then it's reverse against. So that's just a minor error. The map will still be playable. Let's go and find that rail. The map will still be playable, but it's only going to have traffic coming in. Well, you'll have traffic coming from the other direction, but you know what I mean. I think you understand what I mean. The rail ends there. I don't know what's going on with the rail. Anyway.
Want to add a custom hedge maze to your park but don't have the time to build one? Why not try BonBonB's modular hedge maze set? This guide will show you how to select and use the right units. Click the information button below.
And so back to the shipping routes. We have shipping routes. Yes, so yeah, the traffic will come in from both ways, but it'll only be able to exit from one way, and it's not game breaking. Those are the points I was trying to make earlier. Shipping route goes through there, and there's no collisions, so that's all good, and the bridge is high enough. And if you thought this is just a simple shipping lane, you'd be wrong, because then it gets complicated. Convoluted. We have one that goes off the edge of the map there, one that comes up here, comes through the islands, very nice, and then that heads up this way. We get that right angled turn, but we've come up here, we've got a loop around here. That right angled turn goes to the edge of the map. We go the other way though. If we come back the way we came, this one then comes in here, we get a nice little dead end loop over there, and this one goes off the edge of the map over here. So lots of shipping routes on one side and not much on the other. Water flow. Now we are completely reliant on the edge of map here, which means all the water is going to be pouring into this river from both directions. Like this is coming in from this direction. We'll have exactly the same on the other side as well. So the water is going to pour in this way and pour in this way, like that, and there'll be somewhere in this area here a null zone where the pollution, if you are pumping pollution into your river, will muster. Okay, so overall, though, I think it looks okay with the theme and with this theme that automatically loaded in for me, which is quite neat. Not what's going on here. Now, when I loaded up the map, there was water in these troughs. There was that trough there, and there's another couple as well. And it drained away within moments. And see here, that tells me the water level probably needs to be a bit higher, because that is quite high. We will come back and do some tweaking with the water levels a bit later on, but there's plenty of other interesting things I want to see. Like these mountains, at first glance, they look pretty solid, don't they? Yep. But then some weird gouging is going on. I mean, honestly, very weird gouging. And then I saw something very weird indeed, like here, these little plateaus. I wondered if this was actually art. Is this art in the mountains? So the only way really to get a good look at it is to remove all of the trees. So I'm going to select the trees from this area and delete them. And I don't know. I'm not making anything out of this at all. Let me know in the comments if you see something that I don't. I kind of see a saxophonist from this angle, but I don't really know if that's what it's meant to be or if it's just my imagination. But yes, lots of weird patterns going on there in the mountains, which of course you can only see from a distance. Down at ground level, you won't really notice them. And then over here, we've got similar, although this is clearly just what I would call a rush job in terms of making the mountains. If I drag here, you'll see the patterns that we've got are just, well, basically terrain brushes. Bit clunky, bit plasticine-y, I think there. Yeah, not that it really matters that much, because again, when you come down to ground level, you won't notice those. That won't affect your screenshots at all, so I don't really have a problem. I just thought it might be some clever art. Now notice we do have a lot of trees down at the water line, so when we do raise the water level in a moment up to the level of this wreck, then we're probably going to be causing a whole bunch of trees to drown. But this is only an experiment to see what happens. So bring up the water to here, and hello, come on, bring up the water to here. Look, please set. It will in a moment. I'm just waiting for the water to sort itself out. It's climbing, we are there. Right, so now we've got the water at the right level for that wreck. Let's have a look. Let's not worry. Again, drowned trees, don't worry about them now, because clearly they are not meant to be underwater. That is a BonBonB thing to find out what goes on with the water. Now we have these like I say, this little trough going on there that's now full of water, as it was when the map loaded, but I say it just took a few moments to drain away, and so I feel that these are actually meant to have water in them. There's even a little lake down at the start square if you do it this way. Very neat. Anyway, what do you think of this map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Click the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen. It'll take you to the voting page where you can sign in with a whole measure of different measures. Okay, aesthetically, It's alright, I quite kind of like it. Except, of course, for all the missing things off of the workshop, most of the trees will be missing, the theme would be completely vanilla, and while I would like to give it 3 stars, I can only give it 2. Detailing. There's some pretty solid standards of detail on here, which is what holds it up from being a 1-star map. I'm going to give it 2 stars because the good bits are actually okay, but there's a lot of little problems. Gameplay potential. Strictly speaking, it is kind of playable, but of course with that highway connection issue, that takes away from it a little bit, and we've got some questionable water flow areas. So again, I'm going to go 2 stars because it could be worse. It just needs some fixing here and there. Las Terrazas by eminegzap. Had some fun there. Do you know what? It's a map that has a lot of potential. Saw the potential in the screenshot, and then that is why we've given it a quick once over. Just needs a bit more work. A lot more work actually, but there we go. Okay, well that's it. If you're still here, you are part of the 20 and out elite. Use the word of today in today's comments and score yourself 100 population points, and I'll ask you at the end of the week how many population you've got going in your city. Hopefully you're in the thousands by now. In the thousands, I tell you. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.